And welcome back, guys. I'm over here in Dune Awakening today, and today I'm going to give my honest review of what I thought about Dune Awakening. So I'm still working my way through the storyline of the game. So far, I'm enjoying the storyline. So far, I'm enjoying the side contracts and side missions and things like that. Everything in the PvE zone, I'm enjoying. However, what I'm not enjoying is being misled by the Dune Awakening game developers, where they advertise the game for PvE. So I bought the game Dune Awakening under the impression that the game was player versus environment. And, we all got that nasty surprise on that dev stream where the devs literally announced on the dev stream of game launch, launch day of Dune Awakening, that the end game's PvP. And we're all like, fucking really? That's what all the PvEers were sitting thinking, like, fucking really? How misleading, right? So the second thing I don't like about Dune Awakening is the fact that the servers kind of crap out once in a while. So I was going from the area where you can bank your coins back into Haga Basin, and the server for Haga Basin crapped itself, where the server went down, and I was in the middle of transferring from one server to Haga Basin. And when the servers came back online, it was just me in the middle of the desert. There was no ornithopter. Ornithopter was nowhere to be seen, and I have a clip of it. Just give me a second to pull it up here. So here's the clip of me coming back into Dune Awakening, the Haga Basin, and I'm looking around. And I don't see my ornithopter anywhere, right? I'm looking around. Where is it? It's 4 meters above me. I look above me. There's nothing there. I look in front of me. There's nothing there. Okay, what the fuck, right? So at this point, I'm on the edge of the map. I'm questioning, can I make it to the rocks? And yeah, it was difficult. So at this point, I'm questioning, can I make it from here to there? I had to stop right in the middle a couple times. It took me probably 2.5 hours to walk back to base. But the point is, I should have been refunded materials or my ornithopter. That didn't happen. So I put a ticket into Funcom going, hey, the server went down when I was in the middle of transferring back to Haga Basin in my ornithopter. And when I logged back into the server after the server came back online, my ornithopter is nowhere to be seen. And I get an email back from them saying that, well, I know this is not the answer you want, but we cannot refund you your ornithopter or materials for your ornithopter. But thank you for reporting the bug. And I'm like, what the fuck? All right. So the next thing I didn't like about Dune Awakening is the storm that wipes the deep desert also impacts the Haga Basin, and you can't see shit, right? And I get it's by design, but are you encouraging people not to play Dune Awakening? Because, some of us are recording our gameplay to share on YouTube, and no one wants to sit here and see a dust storm, okay? No one wants to sit here and not be able to see in front of them where the hell they're going, okay? So that was annoying. I sat there, you know what? I was just waiting until Tuesday to play the game. That's where I was at. I'm just like, I'm not dealing with this shit. So today, I went to the deep desert because I'm having a problem with storage right now. I need to upgrade to the tier 6 storage, and I would love to upgrade the tier 6 gear, but the problem I'm facing right now is I've got so much stuff that I've had to start selling it or dropping it on the ground to get rid of it because I can't use it, right? So I'm like, okay, I'll go to the deep desert today with stuff I don't have a problem with losing. So I went to deep desert, I set up a base, and I went to the deep desert, and I finally found a titanium node after sitting there for an hour looking around. And it turned out a toxic, hateful player was spawn camping the tier 6 resources, like the nodes. So I went out there, I farmed it, and out of nowhere, this guy comes out of nowhere. Like, he didn't glide in or anything. He just kind of popped it into existence. I don't know if it was a hacker. I don't know if it was a cheater. All I know is one moment he wasn't there, next he was. And I was not recording at the time when it happened. But, okay, I get back in the ornithopter. I try to get back to the PvE zone. He downs me. He downs the ornithopter. He destroys the ornithopter. Now I'm sitting there stuck in the middle of the desert, downed. And he's over there intentionally trying to attract the worm to come eat me. Talk about toxic, right? So I go ahead, I disconnect from the server so he can't do that shit. And I wait like 10, 15 minutes, and I come back on the server. So I'm still in the middle of the desert. And I'm like, well, shit. Right? So I finally find a way to make myself respawn back at the base in the deep desert in the PvE area. And it took a hell of a time getting all my stuff into storage lockers and then respawning in Haga Basin. So you have to take everything off, put it into storage, go back to Haga Basin with nothing on your character, respawn, make a new ornithopter. And you would think I would learn the first time. So I went out there a second time. I went out there with just a shield module, a power pack, that's it, and a cutter array. And I went back out there thinking that toxic, hateful player has moved on from that area. Nope, he is literally camping the titanium and tier 6 resource nodes. And something different happened this time. So I talked in game. I'm like, what the fuck is your problem, right? And he responded as the in-game username as the Pussy Master. Or Pushy, something with Pussy Master. I don't know. Anyways, and then suddenly his name went from Pushy Master to the Dark Angel. So I think I encountered a hacker in the deep desert because I go by the name the Dark Angel, and suddenly his name went from Pushy Master to the Dark Angel. So I think I encountered a hacker or a cheater inside the deep desert. So the biggest problems with deep desert right now is inside of the Dune Awakening is you got a lot of cheaters, you got a lot of hackers, you've got a lot of toxic players just camping spawn nodes, and it's just not enjoyable. So when PvEers come to the deep desert and they get smacked in the face, but this is a PvP zone, a lot of people are dipping out of the game right now. So if you're going to buy Dune Awakening, just enjoy the PvEers. Don't bother with the deep desert until they make it PvE. I have heard that they're going to make certain portions of the deep desert PvE. It seems like this game, Dune Awakening, is designed for groups and clans and less about solo players or PvEers. And it's just what it seems like. Like at first, we were all under the impression that the game was PvE, but as soon as you hit Deep Desert, everything just kind of goes to shit. That's just how I kind of look at it. Like I said, it's a great game in the PvE areas, but like I said, as soon as you go to Deep Desert, you try to get Tier 6 stuff, everything just kind of goes to shit. Depends on what server you're on. If you're on a private server and they're enforcing PvE, then cool. you know. But if you're on a public server, it's a hit or miss. You either get on a server where everyone's super nice and they're all willing to help you out, or you get on a public server where the deep desert is just a complete shit show. So right now I'm trying to join a guild. It's very difficult to find a guild on the same server with the same house that you've joined. And, being part of a guild makes it easier to play Dune Awakening. So that's pretty much what's going on. What I think of Dune Awakening right now is, like I said, I love the PvE areas. I really did not like the PvP zones. I really did not like the fact that this game is, one moment they're marketing the game as PvE, and then suddenly out of nowhere they tell you, oh, it's PvP at the end game. You're fucked, basically. And I'm like, fucking really? And then you've got all the PvPers losing their damn mind in the Discord of Dune Awakening going, they're making the deep desert PvE. Well, when 90% of your platform is PvE players, and there's only 10%, PvPers, no shit that everyone's going to start dipping. You advertise the game for player versus environment, and then you tell everyone last minute that the end game's PvP. No shit. You know, the reason PvEers like games that do player versus environment because you can sit back, you can relax, you don't have to worry about someone being an asshole. So, that's how I kind of look at, player versus environment games. You sit back, relax, you don't have to worry about that player over there being a douchebag or a dick. But when you are met with, oh, in order for you to get tier 6 gear, you have to go into the deep desert. Yeah, no, no. There goes your loop of wanting people to continue to play your game. But that's just my thoughts on the game. So far, like I said, I'm still doing my storyline. I'm still doing contracts and side quests, and I'm really enjoying that. I probably will not go to the deep desert until it becomes PvE zones. That's just pretty much where I'm looking at it. Like, you've got all this open space. And I just find it kind of wasteful because no one's going to go out there unless they have to. Like, I don't know. Like, I love the game Dune Awakening. I just don't like the PvP areas. That's just how I look at it. Uh, Also, when you're in the middle of a cutscene and you're playing your main storyline and having the server say, hey, you've got 30 minutes until the server restarts and having the pop up come across your screen is kind of like, what the fuck? So I just did some storyline stuff, right? And the server's like, oh, it's about to restart in 30 minutes. Why does the pop up have to be 30 minutes in the middle of the screen? So let me just kind of show you. I'm not going to show you the full thing. But tell me, why must server restart pop-up must be in the middle of the screen while you're in the middle of a cutscene? Shouldn't it be in the left corner, out of the way, where people can still see it, but not break the immersion of the cutscene? You can kind of understand why I'm upset. That moment that you're sitting here like, fucking really? I get to look at a hey, please find a safe location to log out. The service will be restarting in 30 minutes. And you get to look at this for like 3 or 4 minutes while you're in the middle of a cutscene and you can't redo that cutscene. Once you start a cutscene or a main quest inside of Dune Awakening, you kind of have to wait until the cutscene's over and you can't go back and redo it unless you change servers and start again from scratch. So you can kind of understand why I was upset regarding Dune Awakening. Regarding, this has kind of happened like 5 minutes ago. Like, really? So you kind of get the idea of this is my experience with Dune Awakening. So my plan is once I'm done with my main questing, my contracts, my side questing, like I'll still maintain my base here in Dune Awakening, but I probably will stop playing Dune Awakening. And I'll wait until the Deep Desert becomes PvE. And wait until they add more quests and stuff like that. But that's pretty much what I think of Dune Awakening. It's a great game in the PvE areas. On the server I'm on, the Deep Desert is a shit show. It's like that special version of Hershey Squirts. Oh, look, there's a toxic player over there. So I don't know if I mentioned this, but in the Deep Desert, I think I ran into a hacker. And one moment, their username is called Pussy Masher. And then the next, they've changed their username to the Dark Angel. And I go by the username in-game called the Dark Angel. So you had two usernames as the Dark Angel. So if you catch anyone out in the deep desert going by the name the Dark Angel, like I said, apparently there's two usernames of the name the Dark Angel floating around right now in the deep desert / Dune Awakening. So I'm aware of it. There's nothing I can physically do about it. I did report this to Funcom. I don't think they're going to do anything about it. But just be warned that that's the thing going on right now in Dune Awakening is apparently cheaters and hackers have the ability to change their username to your username if they want to. They can also take over your vehicles and change the permissions if they want to, and there's not shit you can really do about it. So just be warning that now if you encounter a cheater or a hacker, stay in your vehicle. Do not get out of it. If they're trying to force your ornithopter down or something like that, like just stay in it, let them destroy it this way, they're not getting anything. And then just disconnect from the server for like 10 or 15 minutes until they fuck off. And then reload the server. Of course, respawn at your deep desert base. At least you still have all your stuff. So, anyways, that's my best review of the game of Dune Awakening. That's what I think of the game. Like I said, I like the PvE areas. I just don't like the PvP portion of the game. I don't like the fact that I'm running into hackers and cheaters and toxic, hateful people in the deep desert. Anyways, make sure you hit the like button, make sure to subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video.